Hello and welcome to another MCO market update on Ethereum. The Ethereum chart is currently moving up and we have a reaction to our Fibonacci support zone, which we defined throughout the week. That support zone is between $1,680 and $1,759. And yeah, we had a reaction and the market is pushing higher in what could be the fifth wave of the C wave of the larger degree third wave. So that's the thesis. And the problem is, it's not necessarily high probability, right? I mean, Bitcoin will lead. It's still leading clearly. And the problem is, while we have a reaction to support, the move up is extremely choppy. So I can only say that if you entered in that box, make sure that you have to decide that, right? But I would at least try to secure my position somehow, protect my position, because you'd be in profit if you entered somewhere here. And then that could be just moving up the stop to break even or something. The momentum is just extremely weak. It's choppy and Bitcoin might have reached the top or nearly the top of this third wave, which is kind of the same count here on the Ethereum chart. It's just the performance is weaker. So it's kind of the same count, right? We're also tracking a diagonal pattern here on the Ethereum chart from the 7th of April low. But I've tried to, even though people got very excited with a break above this, what was it? The previous high with a break above the 14th of April high. I've tried to keep expectations realistic given the performance on the ETH BTC chart, which I think I showed in yesterday's update or 2 days ago. And also based on the structure itself, because the same count as Bitcoin's chart shows on, and Bitcoin's performance is a bit better. So we have to manage expectations here. We have to have realistic expectations. And also on this chart, I mean, the white count is what I prefer at the moment. So we have a wave 1 to the upside, which was the swing high in April. It was like the 9th of April high. Then we had here a wave 2 pullback. Yeah, okay, price reached that, reached the higher low, formed the higher low, and then a third wave, but that's an ABC structure because we're dealing with a diagonal pattern for various reasons. One of those reasons is that, for example, the wave 1 that happened on the 9th of April is a 3-wave move. So if the wave 1 is a 3-wave move, I mean, there's no way the third wave could suddenly turn into a 5-wave move. There's just not a pattern that exists. It just doesn't work, okay? So we have to stay close. No, we have to not stay close. We have to follow the rules, right? And then stay close to the guidelines. That's it. So 3 waves up in wave 3, definitely a possibility. And then we would get a wave 4 and a wave 5. Now for Bitcoin, that wave 4 is kind of imminent. For Ethereum, I mean, it will likely follow Bitcoin. The thing is only if we do that without forming a healthy third wave, I wouldn't have any trust that wave 4 support will hold. This is too weak at the moment. This is too weak for a third wave, what we've seen. I mean, we haven't even reached 138% extension. Has the market reached the 1.236? Let me see, actually. Do we have that on the chart? Might be missing that. So the 1.236 is normally the bare minimum, but we haven't even reached that. So I'm just showing that now because Ethereum might never get to 1925. I'd like it to get to 1925. Yeah, that would be an ideal target for the third wave. First ideal target for the third wave. $1,925, though 138% extension. And then, yeah, we need a 4-5 pattern, right? That's to complete a 5-wave move. So please note that we, to really confirm, while I am currently assuming that a low of sorts formed here on the 22nd of April, that was our B wave low, it's not a high confidence pattern. And to really have a solid and formal confirmation that a substantial low formed on the 9th of April, which is here this wave 4 low, I need all 5 waves up, okay? That's important. So I think someone commented yesterday something about it should be something more bearish or something. And I'm like, if you watch the last video, then you know that I'm highly skeptical about this pattern. So I'm simply showing how the roadmap here to all-time highs would look like. That's not that I'm not believing that, okay? And I have highlighted we have to be extremely cautious because so far the rally is in 3 waves. And if we go higher, then it's very likely that the entire rally, let's say 2 all-time highs, or it might fail along the way, right? It will likely fail when Bitcoin is putting a major top in place. So let's just assume everything is going well. We're forming this nice ABC structure, maybe even this, and then Bitcoin puts a top in place. I mean, Ethereum isn't going to do this, probably not, okay, when we're already in the Bitcoin bear market. So please be aware of that. I don't necessarily believe it. It is an altcoin. Long-term projections, and this year would be kind of long-term. I mean, just look at how long the third wave took. I mean, that was like from November 22 to March 24. I mean, I'm not saying this has to happen in a week, right? We'll see. So the question is, will Ethereum actually make it? I mean, other interpretations are possible because so far we're only moving in 3-wave patterns here. And it's not impulsive. Bitcoin's chart is impulsive, which is also why it has been so nice and orderly in this entire cycle since 2022. This here is more like a chaos on the Ethereum chart. So I help you understand structure, but I also help you understand that this is not really a trustworthy chart. It will change its mind quite quickly. And it's been weaker than it should be in this structure. So the problem is then, the question is, okay, why are you not showing a bearish count? Well, I do in blue. But the problem is there are many other patterns that are available. I'm not all showing them all to you, right? I'm highlighting we have to focus on the smaller time frame. We shouldn't focus so much on the larger projection here. I'm showing you the smaller time frames because we have to be flexible. And on the smaller time frames, we find out very quickly if the market takes another direction. So this is not a chart for buying in and then letting it, sit somewhere and hoping the market will go to all-time highs because it's like guaranteed. I mean, not even for Bitcoin it's guaranteed, but Bitcoin, in my view, is a much safer bet than Ethereum. In the end, Ethereum has been outperformed by many, many altcoins. So also someone asked me about comparing it to other altcoins. I mean, the question is, how can other altcoins go up with Ethereum not or something, right? And I said, look, just they are all going up now. I mean, look at Sui, it's outperforming Ethereum. Look at other charts. I mean, many of them are outperforming Ethereum. So Ethereum might have its moment, but it's just not happened yet. And if it gets it might be in this rally to the upside. But we need, from a structural point of view, no change anyway. But to really have that solid confirmation that the 9th of April low was a really substantial low, we need all 5 waves up. And the next milestone target is like 1925. The micro support zone remains relevant. It could easily be tested again. It wouldn't change much. It would simply shift the position of this 4th wave. Then, however, if you compare this 4th wave to this wave 2, it would be quite massive. Would be even less trustworthy. So my main problem here is the choppiness of this move up. But it could just be that we're dealing here with an ending diagonal in this wave 5. And if that's the case, we probably haven't topped in this internal 3rd wave yet. So we'll see how it develops. Yeah, we're nearly there, but 1925 would still be ideal. So that's the update about Ethereum. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and X, and you can find a link for those in the description. For example, on X, there are way more updates, additional updates also in between videos. You can ask questions, comment, and engage with the community. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.